Hello, hello, hello. We are back for another day of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. And as always, live from internetland, it's the Fiasco Joe Show with your host, Fiasco Joe. That's me. Alright, we are going to load up day 4. This is my main playthrough. I've gotten an alternative playthrough that I've started in my spare time because I just like this game so much. So I know some of the events that are coming up, and boy, are you going to be surprised. Alright, let's load in. Alright, so how old am I? I am 13. Alright. We run around the yard to see what's up. Let's talk to Mars. So Elaine, what do you think about this? Mars walks toward you haughtily, stops, poses with her hand on her hip, then turns and walks away. I call it my cool walk, Mars says, looking over her shoulder. I also have a bored walk and a flirty walk. It's important to switch it up once in a while. Great. Great. Alright. You step cautiously through the colony gates. So Lane, how's it going, little partner? Chief Surveyor Utopia steps casually out to bar your way while making it look accidental. Whoa there, I don't know if you're ready to head out there and join the surveyors just yet. Why don't you skedaddle and stick to sports ball inside the walls for now? Shrubs her knuckles into your scalp and sends you on your way. I could go, I'm tough enough if I had the toughness, which I don't, and I could go, I'm brave enough if I had the bravery, which I don't. Alright. Alright, so there's no going outside the walls. Now let's see, what was I doing? Okay, sometimes I'm farming, I think. Let's see, I could research xenobotany. You know what, I need to check on something. Okay, I have 2 mushwood logs. I need 3 to be able to research what I want. I could work on the farm. Gives me a good amount of kudos. Biology and toughness. Could use toughness. Or, of course, I can work in the depot. That's what we've been doing. Working in the depot, farming and researching. So why don't we work in the depot? Organizing and persuasion. Alright. And 9 kudos, 10 stress. Let's do it. You're constantly filling requisitions for snow shovels and waterproof boots. Like every year people forget that it snows on Vertumna. At least everything gets recycled afterwards. Alright. We've got, let's see, random card locked in 1 slot. Alright. Alright. No. Alright, I actually got the super goal. That's a surprise. What is this? Straight of 3. It's not a straight, it's 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 3. Well, whatever, I'll take it if it's a bug. I'll take it. Plus 4 organizing, plus 2 persuasion. Got so much organizing. Plus 10 kudos. Alright, done. You wake to the sound of your parents arguing in hushed tones, clearly trying not to disturb you. You blink away the sleep from your eyes, eventually remembering, wait, isn't today your 13th birthday? Where's your birthday cuddles? Your parents always make a big deal about your birthday. You peek out through the privacy curtain on your bunk and listen in on their argument. You're being unreasonable, your mom says. Solane is a teenager now. You have to give them the opportunity to take calculated risks, or they'll start acting out. That's just what being a teenager is. Going off into the wilderness isn't a calculated risk, your dad replies. It's too dangerous. It's weird to hear your parents arguing. If they ever disagree, they sort it out quietly or go to mediation. This time they sound really upset. It's unsettling. You don't need to... I got tense stress. They glance at you. Your mom holds up her hand to silence you and goes right back to talking. Geranium, she grates. You said yourself that we need every person out there surveying for edible native plants. You're even going yourself. Why not our child? Your dad flails his hands helplessly. Because, Flulu, they're our child. If it's responsible to keep them safe, it's our responsibility to keep them safe. I can't read today. Sorry, guys. You're not keeping anyone safe by coddling them. Your mom almost shouts, and your dad flinches in shock. Solane's survival depends on them understanding this planet we're living on. So you're not doing them or the colony any favors by pretending like that's not the case. I stay quiet. I get five more loyalty. I have all of 5 rebellion points. Anything you say would just make them more upset, and they're doing a good job of that all by themselves. But you're so angry with them right now. Why can't they act like proper parents? They're arguing for a little while longer before your dad raises his hands in defeat. Your mom's fierce expression softens. Hey, Solane, sorry. It's her birthday today, and here we are arguing like a pair of assholes. Happy birthday. They both give you a hug. We meant to order up from the canteen to have your usual birthday breakfast, but we got to talking about how Utopia's opened up positions in expeditions for kids 13 and older, and well, that's you now. Sorry. I suppose we'll have to let you spread your wings someday, your dad relents. I just feel better knowing they were safe here inside the colony walls. He gives your mom a faint smile. We decided early on to let you choose your own path in life, so if you want to join expeditions, we're behind you. Just be safe. Alright. Are they quiet? Mid-quiet. Alright. Alright, talk to Dad. You find your dad comparing some plant samples. When he sees you, he puts down the test tubes and gives you a big hug. Kiddo, he exclaims, then kneels down to look you in the eye. I've been thinking. I want to say I'm sorry your mom and I were arguing on your birthday. We disagree sometimes, but like every couple, it's unfair that you have to see how the sausage gets made. I was really upset. Your dad's face falls. I know. I'm sorry, Gooseberry. Here, I hear the depot's open now. Go get yourself a piece of candy or something on me. Your mom and I talked it out, he continues. We're both just really putting our everything into the farm right now, and it's making us kind of snappy. You don't have to worry about it, okay? He squeezes you in a hug. If you want to join Utopia's exploration team, just be careful. It's dangerous out there. Okay, cool. Alright. Okay. Now I need toughness 20 or something to be able to do... wait a minute. Let me check the grounds one more time for collectibles. Wasn't really looking for that. Okay, no collectibles. Let's go farming. Alright, we'll work on the farm. Solane, can I get your help with something in the barn? Cal asks. You excuse yourself from planting and follow Cal. Something's wrong with Socks, Cal says, closing the door behind you. She won't eat and she cries all the time. You look into Socks' crate. She's almost too big for it now, even curled up in a ball. She raises her head and peeps miserably at you, then curls even tighter, her bulbous antennae drooping. She looks paler, right? Cal says, coming up beside you. And she's always sleepy and cold. I don't know what to do. She won't eat leaves anymore or anything else I bring her. Potatoes, corn, wheat, beans. She just chews them and spits them out. He points to the lid of the box. She's been chewing on her box, too, he says. I'm worried she's going to chew her way out and escape while I'm not here. Cal rubs socks under her chin, but she barely responds to his touch. You've been outside the walls, right, Solane? Have you ever seen any animals like socks? Full-grown ones? What do they eat? I'll look next time I'm surveying. Thank you, Solane, Cal says, sighing as he closes the box. I'm really worried. Okay. Farming challenge. Ooh, I didn't get it. Okay. There we go. Super goal. Okay, +2 toughness. That only brings us up to 19. +5 biology. Absorbent brain. Kudos. Stress. Okay, we're going to be struggling here in a minute to pass these challenges. Some of it, like, they get pretty hard later on. We're not really... Okay, we're not really shaping up very well. I'm going to do another round of farming, which will get us enough toughness to go outside the walls. The best thing that grows here is soybeans for sure. Your mom wanted to plant wheat and rice, 2 really important staple grains on Earth, but they just can't handle the environment. Potatoes and corn do okay, but you can tell your mom's not really impressed either. So it's soy, a lot of soy, and taro and plantains too. I don't know what taro is. I know what plantain is. All right. Boy, oh boy. For biology, we are getting tons of biology. +2 toughness, +10 kudos. Okay. That should bring us up to toughness. Okay, we're at toughness 21. Alright. Oh, let's talk to Dad. Your dad was sniffling and sneezing pretty bad this morning. He collapsed around this time last year, so you've been feeling anxious about his health, especially now that the pollen is back. He's working hard in the fields, respirator hanging from his neck as he grunts and shovels dirt into a wheelbarrow. He sees you coming and stands up straight, coughing a little as he stretches his back. Hey kiddo, what brings you out here? Dad, you have to wear your respirator. Your dad makes blah 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 motions with his hand. I do. Don't look at me like that. I'm just getting some fresh air. It's hard to breathe with that thing on. I'm racing to get these pixie beans in the ground. He continues. We are all set to have a great harvest in time for Vernomalia. He leans in on his shovel, tucking one foot behind the other and rocking back and forth. Truth is, I've been working like a dog. I'd love to get out of here for a while. Hey, what do you say you and I go for a little walk, he says, brightening. I know you don't get outside the walls much either, but we could do a little nature walk. I study all the plants the foragers bring back, but I've never really seen them in the wild. Sounds great. Awesome, your dad exclaims. I knew you'd pick up what I'm throwing down. Your mom doesn't see the draw, he continues, flipping his shovel up onto his shoulder and picking his way carefully out of the turned fields. She likes what she can control, you know, but there's a whole planet out there, and I want to go explore. He stops and doubles over, suddenly racked with a coughing fit that makes him unable to speak. He tries a few times to catch his breath, but each time he just starts coughing harder. The pink pollen in the air swirls and eddies around you both. Maybe you should stay indoors. Oh, your dad wheezes. You're just like Instance, that old sit thick in the mud. I I remember when we were younger. She was always walking around with her nose in everyone's business. She always thinks she knows what's best for people. Despite his brave words, he has to hold on to you for balance as he catches his breath again. Okay, maybe now's not the best time, he gasps, finally putting his respirator back on. But you and me, we have a date with the outside world, kiddo. I'm taking a rain check, he says, his eyes red-rimmed and streaming from irritation. I can't wait until Instance figures out a treatment for this shimmer thing. She says maybe next year, maybe the one after that. I'm gonna be first in line, you bet. Okay. Want a cure to shimmer, of course. Shimmer is the coughing and sneezing and runny nose that he does because of the pollen. Solane, what do you think about this? Okay, we've already done this. Alright. Okay, I should be able now to do... Okay, I'm tough enough. Well, I'll be, Utopia drawls, grappling you playfully. You ain't lying, kid. You got grit. She scans a roster on her holopalm. Yup, looks like you're approved to start with the junior survey teams. And you look like you won't wilt at the first sting of slapgrass. We'll keep you close to begin with, round here and in the prosaic plains. Come see me when you're ready for assignment. Okay. Let's go. Alright. +3 perception, +1 animals, +1 friendship with Dis, +2 bravery, +1 perception. Okay. Let's go survey the plains. Hopefully we can find another collectible wood thing. Events in this area can be done in any order. They won't cause time to pass, but they will increase your stress. Return home via the expedition's depot flag or the home button at the top left of the screen. Watch for collectible items you can bring back as gifts. Events respawn at the beginning of each year, and new collectibles have a chance to appear every season. Alright, let's go talk to her. When you boarded the expedition's autobus this morning, you didn't know what to expect. It trundled you and the other surveyors a few clicks north to the prosaic plains, a high flat area with cooler weather than your colony. You could barely control your excitement as you watched the landscape change. And now you're here. You're finally old enough for a real survey mission away from the colony. Let's see. I got a... Ooh. Plas cutter. You greet Chief Surveyor Utopia at the depot. This here's a plas cutter, she says, handing you one. It's a tool for cutting and heating things. You can use it to make a fire, cauterize a wound, boil water, and it cuts some materials pretty alright. You can use it for self-defense too, but I don't suggest it. Cool, fire. She laughs. Cool it, sweets. This is a quiet area, and what we're doing, we're not supposed to be in danger. We're just gonna be taking notes and pictures, keeping track of all the flora and fauna we see. Just don't touch anything unless I ask you to take a sample. Everything is potentially dangerous. We don't know much about what's out there, which is why we need surveyors. Even youngins like you. The prosaic plains are a sparse region. Like you can assume from the name, you can see things from a long way off. Utopia sees you squinting at the horizon. What are you going to do if you see something coming for you? Avoid it. That's +1 perception. Good kid, Utopia approves, patting you on the back. We don't need any trouble. Dis joins you. He must have come on an earlier autobus. Ah, good you're here, Utopia says, digging out another plas cutter for Dis. You two greenhorns are with me for the foreseeable. Now, we don't gotta sniff each other's butts all the time out here, but I do expect y'all to be in yelling distance. Comms can get spotty out here. Utopia also hands you a surveying drone and shows you how to launch it. It'll automatically perform local scans of wherever you go. though detailed scans still need to be done manually. When you return here to the depot, it'll upload its findings to the holonet. Your job is to cover ground, see what's out there, and so long as it isn't dangerous, record it. She slaps you on the back. Alright, team, don't get yourselves killed out there, okay? Alright, so let's look for... There's one. Sturdy mushroom log. Alright, do I need really... I don't think I need to really spend a lot more time on this. Alright. The little gazebo is set up as a waiting area for the automated transporters, which trundle back and forth between here and the colony. A sign reads, Autobus Depot, Prosaic Plains. Sparse vegetation makes this an ideal region for resource extraction. Blue snow is mildly acidic and may corrode equipment with prolonged exposure. Please rinse enviro suits upon return. Alright. Are you sure this will end the month? Sure, we'll go home. That's all I needed, was one more piece of wood. I got +3 perception and +1 animals. Where's my perception? There's my perception. 12. Animals is at 17. Apparently I've got a item that helps that. +1 friendship with this. Okay. Alright. Okay. Mid-pollen. Next up, what we're gonna do... Oh, there's another one right there. If I had known that was gonna show up, I probably wouldn't have done the surveying. That's just not what this particular playthrough is geared toward. I'm geared toward things like research and getting reputation and stuff like that. That may seem a little bit prosaic, but that's what we're doing. You bring your mushwood samples into the lab. You're going to study these and revolutionize the use of mushwood lumber. Maybe. Study this mushwood. You examine the mushwood under a microscope and take notes on its cellular structure. Part of the reason it needs to be harvested in wet is because the cells get so saturated that they lose structural integrity and turn to, well, mush during glow. Okay, studying the exact process by which the cells take in water leads to a breakthrough. It might be possible to hack the process and stop the mushroom trees from taking on too much water during wet. If they don't take on as much water, they won't take as long to dry. Alright, we got 5 kudos and +1 colony defense. You should be able to develop a spray that the loggers can apply to the fruiting body of the mushwood, the part that sticks out above the ground, to close its pores. Reducing negative pressure in the body should stop it from pulling so much water from the mycelial network underground. This is great. Logging will be much more efficient now. Great. Alright, my goal. Tell you what I'll do. There we go. Super goal. +20 kudos. That's a lot of kudos. Alright, we got a lot of biology and some organizing. We want organizing. We are at the end of biology. That's cool. You're getting older, isn't it's that magical time in your life full of discoveries and possibilities when children become adults and their bodies change in weird, wonderful, and often embarrassing ways. When you were younger, congruence gave your class a frank presentation about preparing for the changes your bodies would experience in the next few years. Which parts of the presentation was relevant to you? None of it. I'm like a doll down there. Thanks to gene tech, your body doesn't need to conform to expectations for sex and gender. It's the future. Okay? You and your friends giggled your way through Congruence's presentation and left with a new appreciation for the wonders of the human body. Puberty had felt like something that would happen so far in the future that it didn't apply to you. You put it out of your mind, even as you noticed Cal's voice begin to drop or Mars started to dress differently. Until one morning you wake up and something feels different. You can tell you're in a weird mood before you even open your eyes. The sound of your parents moving around your quarters irritates you. Why can't they be quiet? Why do you all have to live in the same room? Can't they just leave you alone? You throw back your privacy curtain and snap at them to shut up. Your mom and dad blink at you in shock for a few seconds. Then your mom's face goes red. Excuse me, kid, you do not speak to people like that. I could say screw off or you're not the boss of me. I'll go with you're not the boss of me. Your mom opens her mouth to yell at you, but your dad raises his hand for peace. Hey now, let's walk it back a bit, he says diplomatically. Solane, you can't expect total silence when we all live together like this. If you're cranky in the mornings, you need to go to bed earlier. Teenagers need more sleep. Your mom opens her mouth again, but your dad continues. Flulu will try to be quieter. Solane is telling us what they are starting to need more space, right? He's so reasonable it just makes you even more angry. How dare he try to understand? You roll over in bed and sulk until they leave. I am a teenager! You end up sulking for so long that you miss the window for breakfast in the canteen, so now you're hungry and upset. You scroll the colony's social media to try to take your mind off whatever is going on with you today, and happen to see a photo of your friends hanging out together in the construction lot beside engineering. That makes it worse. Your friends are having fun without you. Even though you chose to skip breakfast, it feels like a personal insult. How dare they? Don't they know you're sad? I've got gain status hormones. What is happening? You feel on the edge today, like everything that happens feels so unfair and tragic, like you want to punch stuff and then cry about it, like you want to be left alone, but you also desperately want attention. It feels like a fount of new energy is starting to bubble up inside you. Dangerous, uncontrollable energy. Welcome to puberty, Solane. Alright, this is our chance. So, hormones gives rebellion increases tripled. So this is our chance to become a rebel. Let's see what Cal has to say. You spot Cal heading toward the bars at the far end of the barns. Hiya, Solane, he waves. Hey, what's up? Just heading over to the barn, Cal says. I finished before everyone else today, so I told everyone I'm gonna clean it. No one wants to get roped into helping, so it'll just be me and Socks. You should come with. Cal whistles as you enter the barn, and the chest where Socks sleeps starts to rattle. He laughs and pops the lid, hefting Socks up into his arms. Hey girl, he coos, time to get some forbidden daytime zoomies out. You and Cal play with Socks for a little while, chasing her around the barn. She chitters and stomps her stubby little legs, clearly enjoying the attention. After a while, Cal stops, just catch his breath. Whew, he says. She's got so much energy, I don't know where it's coming from. It's not anything she's eating, that's for sure. I hope you find some food for her soon. I have a little while before I have to get back to work, Cal says. What should we do? Just teach Socks a new trick. I get +1 animals. Oh yeah, Cal agrees. I've been working on getting her to follow directions lately. That's a great idea. We spend about a half hour teaching Socks how to shake a paw. There are a lot of paws to choose from, and she seems to delight in giving you a different one each time. You can't help but think that working with her like this might come in handy in the future. Okay. Alright. Now, we did our research. Next up, we work in the depot. It'll give us more organizing and persuasion. You fill a requisition for climbing gear for the surveyors. Ropes, clamps, I don't know what a piton or a piton is. Stuff like that. As you pack it up, you wonder if you're missing out on exploring Vertumna by sitting behind a desk. Well, you guess even brave explorers need someone to make their supplies. That's right, I'm helping. Alright. Alright. guess that'll work. I really need more points on these cards or I'm going to start losing. Early dust. Okay, it's dust season. There's more wood. This is interesting. Is all Tang says, taking the roots and turning them over in her hands. Her lip curls in distaste as the dirt that still clings to them. No, really, she protests. Then she sees the look on your face. I'm going to analyze these roots and see if they have any useful properties. They might be medicinal. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself. Thank you, she adds, almost as an afterthought. Okay. Let's, why don't we just go out and do stuff? It'll help me find stuff and, I get, okay, perception. Animals. Okay. Alright. We go along. Prosaic Plains. Let's look at this event. One of your jobs as a surveyor is to document the flora and fauna through photographs. You see a thing, a skittish flock of really long insects. Each one has 10 to 20 sets of wings, like long rods with knobby bits at regular points. They're moving so fast they're almost a blur. You've got a camera built into your hollow palm, but it's not equipped to capture difficult shots like this. You'll need to put in the work. Find a good angle. Oof, I've got to get a lot. I've got to get a lot. Let's see. What's this? One for two of a kind. Oh, I see. So when it says value is wild, okay, so it automatically matches pairs and straights. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I should be able to do this. Alright, I actually got a super goal. Kudos and perception. Climb up a tree to get an angle from above, not disturbing your subject. It comes out great, very avant-garde. Utopia is glad for the shot. Good. Okay, we get, every time we do one of these, we get 15 stress, right? So that's a little weird. Alright, let's do this. You almost bump into Dis. He's being so still and quiet, hunched over and looking down a little knoll. He shushes you and points. Don't scare them. You follow his finger and see what looks like a bush shaking violently. Two bushes, actually, at opposite ends of a clearing. They're bush bubs, he says, fighting over territory. You look more closely through your holoculars. Oh, those boulders are alive. How do you know that? Dish shrugs. If you're quiet, you see them a lot. Okay, we got +1 animals, +2 friendship with Dis, and gain memory of the bush bugs dance. You watch the two creatures face off, rhythmically rustling the leaves that grow out of their heads and backs. Their gangly, branch-like antennae swing over their heads as they rear up to their full heights. Even from far away, they look imposing, like agile boulders. One goes, then the other. They watch each other carefully, alternating and repeating the other's motions, trying to outdo each other. Ultimately, the smaller, more graceful one seems to be declared the winner. The loser plops back down and shuffles away into the jungle, defeated. Okay. How much more stress do I have? Oof. Alright, I'm gonna go home. We are going home. Spent the month exploring. +3 perception, +1 animals. So I'm gaining perception pretty good. Still don't have a lot. It's Vertumnalia, time for speeches, games, and feasting. You stare hungrily at the feast table. Sure, it's mostly soy rations, but it's still more food than you usually see all at one time. This year, though, there's something new. Great big tureens of glowing beans. Weird. You try to sneak some food before the speeches start, but Chief Engineer Instance catches you and smacks your hand away. Mom gets really mad at her and it causes a huge yelling match. Your dad directs you away from the table as Instance blames your mom for the way things are right now, whatever that means. Your dad passes you a soy sweet to keep your tummy busy during the speeches. He's the best. Governor Udicott takes the stage and manages to calm everyone down. Welcome everyone to our 4th Vertumnalia celebration, she says, speaking through a maxophoner. Her voice has been getting weaker lately and she can't reach across the square the way it used to. I'm proud as always to stand before you and your governor and to celebrate another year of peace and prosperity on this beautiful planet. Udicott steps aside, wobbling a little as she walks, leaving Seek to complete the annual formalities. So she's getting a little older. Your mom steps forward. This year's feast includes a new glow-in-the-dark food. Pixie beans are our first domesticated Vertumnan crop. The crowd applauds and your mom raises her hands. Credit goes to Geranium. He insisted we dedicate a third of our fields to them, so you'll also have him to thank for the light show in your toilets tonight. A smattering of laughter ripples through the crowd. Your dad chuckles nervously. Your mom's smile fades. As you know, we lost our hydroponics and microbial soil during the wormhole accident, she says. These pixie beans will make up for losses we've faced with our earth crops. Udicott's weedy voice rattles through the maxophoner. Thank you, everyone. Let's get on with the games. The crowd packs away the chairs as the children gather in the square. Which competition do you participate in this year? Let's see, to do the science fair, I need 1 more point of reasoning. Alright, maybe we'll do a bot quadrathlon. This is Calm. Calm directs your attention to this year's edition. Isn't Calm cute? Look at Calm. A cloth-covered mountain as tall as 4 adults, studded with mysterious protrusions. He pulls it back to reveal the Tower of Terror, he announces with a flourish. Test your courage with 3 stories of ladder climbs, followed by a death-defying leap of faith onto the puff shroom mats. I get +2 friendship with Anemone and +2 friendship with Cal. You, Anemone, and Cal take in the majesty of the Tower of Terror. Both of them are hooting and pumping their fists, absolutely bonkers about jumping from 3 stories. You'll all still be doing the wrestling, agility, and accuracy portions of the course, but clearly this is the winner by popular vote. How about you? Are you ready? Alright, let's start it up. How much do I have to get? 57. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think we're gonna get there. We've got a lot of really bad cars. I can't believe it locked in a 1. We did it! Oh my goodness. That was not easy. That was not easy. You blow through the obstacle course, the basket shooting, and the bot wrestling with ease, and you arrive at the base of the Tower of Terror with a determined gleam in your eye. I got gained memory, bot Athlon champion. I need a lot of those. You scale it easily, of course, it's only ladders. Sure, it's really high ladders and a huge jump, but you just close your eyes and pretend you're jumping into a great big vat of pudding. Com awards you first place in the quadrathlon. Congratulations. Finally, it's time for the feast. The pixie beans are a hit. Your parents keep touting their many benefits. They grow well here, they're super nutritious, taste great, they're really versatile, and kids love the bright multicolor glow. Your rumbling stomach has made you grouchy. Your parents will let you eat until they finally stop bragging about their dumb beans. You consider the options: pixie bean soup, pixie bean salad, pixie bean chili, pixie bean aquafaba dessert. Everything glows in the evening twilight. You sullenly shove your pixie bean everything around on your plate. You don't even want to eat them anymore. Stupid beans, stupid feast, stupid games, stupid everyone. Arg! Every time someone turns to talk to you, especially about how great these beans are and how great your parents are for growing them, you just get more irritated. They're just beans. It's like they love these beans more than they love you. You're probably just hungry. Let's eat the pixie beans. You want to rebel against these stupid beans, but the truth is you're too hungry to resist. You count backwards from 10 to calm yourself down so you don't blow up at your mom. Why is she smiling all the time? Ugh. You settle on glowering at her over your plate of glowing beans. She notices but just purses her lips and turns away from you to talk to someone else. Rude. You shovel food into your mouth, trying not to look like you're enjoying it. It is as delicious as everyone says, and you start to feel more human the more you eat. Right, yeah, food. Food is great. Alright, I miss 50 stress, that's good. You do feel better after you eat something. Everyone's in high spirits after dinner, breaking off into little groups to talk or make music together as the sky darkens for the shortest night of the year. You feel your mood improve by the minute as your friends pull you into a fun rhythmic clapping game. As your irritation fades, you wonder if this is what congruence meant when she warned you that your hormones would make you feel out of control sometimes. When you go back to your quarters to get ready for bed, your dad gives you a big hug. It's exactly what you needed. Thanks, Dad. Alright. Early dust changes to mid dust. Alright. Let's, okay, this is as far as I can go out. Does anyone want to talk? Are there any collectibles? Let's go do a shift in the depot. Antecedent requisitions some new toys for the children of the creche and tells you to use your imagination. You really enjoy coming up with new toys and making copies of some of your favorites from when you were in the creche, like Stampy, Destroyer of Worlds. Antecedent thanks you for your efforts and smiles fondly at Stampy before gently packing them away for transport. Get to work. Alright, here we go. Alright. Reorganizing. Mars is ambition and popular status. Well, I'm popular because I won the quadrathlon. Mid dust changes to late dust. I believe I will. Should I research xenobotany? Yeah, why not? You're really in the groove, munching on day-glow roasted pixie beans and feeling just good? Like everything is going right for once. You catch yourself giggling for no reason. For fun, you decide to put a pixie bean through the analyzer. Sure, your dad already studied them, but there's gotta be stuff you still don't know about them, like you only discovered today how incandescently delicious they are roasted. Maybe you can figure out why they glow. You could make everything glow. The analyzer spits out a bunch of info and congruence helps you interpret it. She says as if she really needs to ponder anything. These readings are different than the initial ones, suggesting possible amplification with certain hormones or higher bioreactivity in situ. In regular words, congruence, please. Pardon me, Solane. I mean, they might mess with human brain functions under some conditions. We should perform the analysis again. Okay, +5 stress. This sounds important. You run more samples of roasted pixie beans through the analyzer, but you only get more frustrated. Are you certain these are clean samples? Congruence asks. I am detecting anomalies in the readings. Excuse me for asking, but have you washed your hands? Ew, Congruence, of course you have. You don't know what to do. You try everything, even scrubbing the beans clean with acid. Congruence reverts to her most robotic, focused entirely on figuring out this puzzle. When her normally chipper voice goes monotone and cold, it makes you feel so lost. You're never going to get this right. You start to fear tears prickling in your eyes. Alright, I can run the experiment correctly. You wipe your eyes and try to focus. Once the samples are finally scanned, you help Congruence run simulations to see what effects the pixie beans might have on different types of brain chemistry. Do you have permission to do this, Solane? It requires significant power, she asks. You wave your hands at her. Of course, sure, whatever. You giggle. No one's here to stop you, right? Processing all that simulation data makes the greenhouse lights flicker. You might get in trouble for that later, but what do you care? You're doing science. Congruence chews on the result for, well, less time than it would have taken you, but still an appreciable amount of time for her, a supercomputer. She says finally. Solane, have you been feeling not yourself lately, as if your thoughts and your reactions are more dramatic? Even more so than usual? Well, now that you think about it. Obviously, we test for toxicity before we clear native plants for consumption, Congruence continues, but there are limitations. For example, accounting for the hormonal fluctuations of people undergoing puberty. Congruence explains that there seems to be a chemical in the pixie beans that hyperbonds to estrogen and testosterone, and that combination of molecules activates receptors in your brain way more than just the hormones alone. The chemical will build up over weeks first, then it's going to hit a flashpoint, and you look at the beans you've been munching all afternoon, all week. Uh-oh. You call your dad in to take a look over your findings. There's no way he mutters as he scrolls his hollow palm, then he stops. Well, I'll be Jiminied. How are you feeling, Solane? You look over from where you've been balancing a sample beaker on your forehead. The beaker slides off and you bounce it off your knee a few times before catching it. Then you burst out laughing for no reason at all. Your dad blinks at you. Well, that answers my question. We gotta stop eating those beans right now. Your dad looks distraught. Flulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair and rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things, but shit, she's going to be pissed we don't have another successful food source. You looked at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Let's see. Status ended hormones. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. Oh boy. Alright. Alright. +5 biology, plus 30 kudos. We got a lot of kudos, don't we? Late dust. Early wet. New perk. Enhance your DNA in engineering. I can get an extra enhancement. Alright, early wet is Mars's birthday. So we're gonna give her a crystal, which she likes. Ha! Mars laughs, taking the crystal and turning it over in her hands, inspecting it. Well, I've had better birthday gifts this year, but I admit this crystal is pretty fabulous. I'll add it to my collection. Let's talk to her then. Mars is watching a vid from Earth on her holopalm. She gestures you over, and you sync your holopalm with hers. The audio track comes through your hearspeak. Mars knows every word. Beside you, she recites the dialogue perfectly along with the actors. Since the day we met, I devoted my life to finding you. I searched every train station, every coffee shop, every museum and park for you, she says. My every waking thought was only of you. Her voice goes higher. And I dreamed of you, she says. Every night my heart called to yours in the dark. I never hoped to dream I would find you again. I'm here now, she says, playing the first part again. I'm here, and I'm never leaving your side again. How dramatic. Mars drags her hand down her face as the couple in the vid kiss passionately. Ugh, she exclaims, I've seen this vid 100 times, and the end always makes me want to yarts. They met on a train once and spent forever looking for each other. Like, move on, you know? It's not like living here where there's only like 100 people to pick from. You're in a huge city. Go find anyone else. Why do you keep watching it? Mars sighs exasperated. I've already seen everything else worth watching. Before you can protest, she puts up a hand. Okay, fine, I do like the city parts. Like, isn't it post-real to imagine cities so big you could get lost in them? So many people that you could meet someone and then never see them again in your life? Mars waves away the vid screen. Sometimes I think I should have been born back on Earth, not on this dumb spaceship. She mock punches the hull of the ship behind her. All these cities and people, all this stuff you could do. Watching new vids, going to concerts. The only culture here is grown in a lab. Mars sighs dreamily. And the shopping, they have so much stuff on Earth. Anything you could dream, not just the rubbish our old nano printers can make. I'm bored of everything I own, Mars complains. Speaking of shopping, do you want to trade some kudos for one of my old jackets? My dad says I can print more stuff until I get rid of something. I'd say 50 kudos sounds fair. That gives me... Okay. I got tons of kudos, so yeah, sure, why not? Mars takes off her jacket and watches critically as you try it on. Well, it matches your hair, she says, but it kind of puckers out at the shoulders. It was really tailor-printed to fit me. She almost looks like she's going to take it back for a second before putting her hands up in surrender. No, I admit, it looks good on you. Makes you look posh. Guys, I look posh. Can you imagine? Me looking posh? What is this? Enlightened. You've been enlightened by mastering a skill. +1 to all mental skill increases for 3 months. Okay. That's something. Well, here's a blue fruit. I know who likes blue fruits. This guy. Food! Cal grabs the fruit out of your hands, then remembers his manners. He gives you a big hug. Thanks, Elaine. I'm starving. How did you know? Alright. I don't need more biology, but I need organizing and persuasion, which means I'm going to do work in the depot. For a while, anyway. Mars always wants you to finish your work quickly so you can goof off or read holomags together. But if Seek catches you, they'll just find more work for you to do. Alright, let's see what we do. Okay. That's close to being a no-go. Alright. +4 organizing, +2 persuasion, +18 kudos, +10 stress. Early wet, mid wet. Alright, we're coming toward the end of the year. When we get to the end of the year, that'll be the end of this episode. Alright, I still need persuasion and organizing, so I'm just gonna go back and work at the depot some more. You make sure the shelves are always stocked with the essentials: toothpaste, floss, painkillers, menstrual supplies, various medicated creams, generic underwear and socks, and more boring mundane things. People on Earth probably thought that living on another planet would be exciting, but it turns out you're still a human, and with the same human needs. Working in the depot. I already need 22 again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and another 4. I got a super goal. Exactly the super goal. Five organizing. Okay. Late wet. Where do I get... It said I could get a new gene enhancement. Study life science, study engineering. Oh, here we go. Tinker with your DNA. Of all the people in the colony, you understand genetics the best, besides Dr. Instance, probably. She trusts you to attend to the gene tech machine. With access to a machine like this, you could give yourself a new gene tech enhancement. Sure, you probably shouldn't mess with your genome too much in vivo, but one little change couldn't hurt. Of course I want to. You decide to install the enhancement. Extra fingers. Super strength. Calm temperament. Huh. Super strength is okay. Super strength. It's a lazy person's dream. Eat whatever you want, don't exercise at all, and still look like you spend all day at the gym. It's a tricky process, much more complicated than modifying the malleable stem cells of an embryo. You wouldn't risk doing it again, but this time it works out. Dr. Instance knows what you've done, but you take her silence as tacit approval of your risky experiment. Okay, you need a break soon. What am I? I got 15 more stress. Alright, what am I at? I'm at... Alright, well, we're gonna go back and work in the depot some more. Cal stops by to pick up some replacement parts for a broken wheelbarrow. He complains a little that he has to use boring old tech and not the hover lifts, but you can tell he actually really enjoys just doing the work. Isn't that great? Okay. Alright, we go to glow, and then glow, I like to rest. I want a crystal again, that's good. I need more of those. Okay, we are going to rest. I think there's a rest opportunity in here. We have a park, so I'm going to relax in the park. The geoponics domes are a comforting beacon of light during glow. While everything else is throwing off an unsettling alien light, the domes are stable, dependable, human. You like spending time in them, tending to the seedlings that will be transplanted into the fields in pollen. Okay, do you want to forget? Sure, let me forget this 0 card. And another year, another glow. Everyone's pretty sure there's going to be an attack this year, so the colony is on high alert. You're collecting glow flies in the geoponics gardens with Cal and Anemone when the sirens begin to wail. You all stop what you're doing and look at each other nervously. Your parents run off to help defend the farms, telling you to get inside the greenhouses and stay quiet. Anemone declares she's going to the walls to watch the soldiers fight. She knows a good spot. I'm going to get inside and stay quiet. You and Cal do as you're told, while Anemone heads for the walls. You manage to push a trunk of gardening supplies across the door. They're automatic doors, so it won't stop them from opening, but at least it'll buy you a few more seconds to run away if something tries to come through. Cal looks up at the glass ceiling and walls. If they come through the door, he mutters. He shows you a good hiding spot, and together you curl up and try not to make any noise. I just hope nobody gets hurt, he mutters, hiding his face in his knees. After a while, the all-clear rings through the colony. You and Cal come out from your hiding place and creep back outside. In the distance, you can see 2 of the largest fields have been torn up. Cal shoots you a worried look, and you go back to collecting glowflies in silence. You watch your mom and dad survey the damage with grim, tight body language. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. I'm telling you, it wasn't a fluke, your mom says. They're not just wild animals. They have a plan. The fields, the lights. Okay, your dad replies, taking her hands across the tabletop. We have to tell people what we saw in geoponics. They look up, noticing you in the doorway. Your dad's worried expression quickly changes to a smile. Hey, Rutabaga, what happened to the fields? Your mom stands up. Don't you worry about it, she snaps. Go to bed, it's late, and we have a lot of work to do tomorrow to clean up. Okay. That is the end of year 3, 4, something like that. So now we start age 14. We have 36 friendship with Mars, 47 with Cal, 8 with Dis, 13 with Anemone, and 35 with Tangent. Cal is still our best friend. That is what we asked for in the beginning, for Cal to be our best friend. So that makes sense. Okay, guys. We're gonna save. New save. Day 5. Okay. Then we're gonna go to the main menu. All right. I see I got a chat message that I missed. Sorry, 12-ounce epilogue. I know who that is, by the way. That's somebody I know in real life. Tuning into my stream to be charitable. Thanks. Dang. Okay. All right, everybody. That's it for now. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you later. Bye.